Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a very special video for you. It's a series of videos I'm going to be making and I'm calling it Sequel Specials. Basically I've decided that for the next few weeks or so I'm going to talk about different Disney sequels, because behind most of the Disney classics there is now a Disney sequel, and some of them are good and some of them are bad. And some of them are just downright terrible, and I thought we could have some fun looking at each one of them. I'll give you some facts and information about them, and I'll tell you what I think of them as well. So this week's sequel I'm going to be looking at is Mulan 2. Now Mulan, the original movie, came out in 1998, and then 6 years later out came Mulan 2, and many of the original cast reprised their voice acting roles for this movie, apart from one obvious and frankly shocking exception. That is Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy did not reprise his role as Mushu because his contract for Shrek 2 forbid him to, basically. He had a clause in his contract for Shrek 2 which meant he couldn't do Mulan 2, so instead the role of Mushu in the sequel is voiced by Mark Moseley, who did a pretty good job, I think. Interesting fact about Mulan 2 is that Lucy Liu voices one of the princesses in the movie. She voices the role of Mi. Now in the movie there are a few songs, but one of my favourites from the first movie is incorporated into the sequel, and that is Girl Worth Fighting For. Whereas before it had just been all the Chinese army singing about a girl back home, it's mainly about the three warriors. They are singing it after they've met the matchmaker, and they're talking about a girl they really want to find and marry. But there are also some great new songs called Less Than Number One and Like Other Girls, which really stick out in my mind to me. Like, I quite often find myself singing little bits from Lesson Number One and Be Like Other Girls. Another interesting fact that you might not know is Lea Salonga, who voiced Princess Jasmine in Aladdin, also voiced Mulan, and she comes back in Mulan 2 to sing again, which I think is really, really great. She has an excellent voice as Mulan, singing wise, and I just love listening to her. I could listen to her all day. So what do I think of Mulan 2? Well, I think the storyline is pretty good actually. The story looks at arranged marriage, which is a pretty interesting topic, and then it also of course looks at relationships and how things can change and people have different opinions and how you need to work to overcome those differences if you really want to make things work. The storyline, like I say, it's arranged marriage. It focuses on the princesses being escorted by Mulan and Li Shang and the three warriors, and they're on their way to make a treaty, and the princesses have to marry these princes, and at the same time Mulan and Shang are on about getting married, but they've got very different ideas, and Mushu gets a little bit mischievous. And I just think it's a really good standout movie actually. I really enjoyed it. Some people don't, but yeah, I think it's a pretty worthy sequel. Ming-Na Wen, who voices Mulan, is just so good at this role. Like, I think the story's just brilliant, and she's really kick-ass as Mulan. And BD Wong as Li Shang, like, he just sounds so good. Like, I completely believe in these characters in this story. Definitely a Disney sequel worth seeing. If I had to rate this Disney sequel out of 10, I would give it a good solid 8 to 9. I do think I missed some of the original songs, and I think more of those could have been incorporated into the new story, but like I said, as a standalone from Mulan to Mulan 2, it's really, really good and definitely worth watching. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up for me, comment down below, hit subscribe, and give me suggestions, guys, for Disney sequels you want me to cover. I have got a list of some that I'm going to be working on in the next couple of weeks, but I haven't got all of them, so if there's any ones in particular you're desperate for me to talk about, then I will. So ciao for now!